Morning, this is Mr. Willie in West Virginia. It is February the 4th, kind of an important day for me as a father. My youngest child turns 20 today, and for you that know her, she's my miracle. She's who we have nicknamed Miracle because at one time she almost died. So it's a great day for me. But I want to share a word that, again, the Lord whispered something to me this morning, and it's for some of us that get ourselves into situations and we don't know what to do. We have a normal psychological, got it right, we have a normal psychological response called fight or flight. And it's instinctive to a threatening situation, which readies one to either resist forcibly or to run away. That's what's known as fight or flight. Now, I believe what Father was whispering to me, that there's human ways to do things, and then there's heavenly ways or kingdom ways to do things. He gave me, and it's funny because I asked him to give me a scripture, and I opened up my Bible, and boom, there it was. I mean, I knew it was there. But also, he also gave me a scripture as I was thinking about this whole situation. And you know, when our Sydney had her situation where I saw her in the back of the ambulance at the time, already intubated. I had a response, instinctive response. My response was not to run away or to try and fight the situation, because there she was. It was a reality that she was in the back of an ambulance and there was something wrong. My first instinctive thing was to go pray. And this has been my instinct for 40-some years. I've had other situations pop up. A lot of people want to be frantic and scream and cry and, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? My first instinct is to go find a quiet place and to pray. Scripture says that men ought to always pray and not faint. We can't escape reality. And here in America, we try to. We're always trying to escape reality. We do it with drugs. We do it with our minds. We do it with alcohol. You know, we do it with watching TV or being entertained by something else. You know, going to a sports game. There are all sorts of ways to escape reality. And to some degree, we are flighting. We're running away from what's going on in our lives at times, and not always. Sometimes we're taking care of what we feel is our responsibilities. But the majority of people in this country try and figure a way out of a painful situation as quick as possible, instead of trying to figure out how to learn from it. Now, the scripture I found was in Proverbs, and that's a book of wisdom. And it says, "My son, forget not my law." This is Proverbs 3. "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy or truth forsake thee. Bind them around your necks. Write them upon the tables of thine hearts. So shall they find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. But be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil." Now, here in America, and this is my demonstration, my little object lesson for you right here. Here in America, we have decided that, you know what, if I don't want to wear a tie correctly, the way that it was designed to wear it, I can wear it any way I want to, because I'm in America. I have freedom to do that if I want. But am I wearing the tie right? Am I wearing the tie designed the way that whoever invented ties wanted me to wear it? No. Most people in America, and I won't say, and I don't know if it's really a majority, but, you know, just looking out into my community, most people do not go about life seeking God first. He says to seek his kingdom first, and its righteousness, and everything that we need will be added to us. I see people following. I see people doing what they're told to do. And I'll give you an example. I got invited yesterday was musicians fellowship at another church that I went with a friend of mine that attends a church in Morgantown. So we went and we had musicians fellowship, had a really nice time, met some really nice musicians, had a good time playing, went and got something to eat, went back to another city, and he had tickets for the Morgantown for the West Virginia basketball game. Now, I had other plans, but I felt like, you know what, I need to hang out with my buddy, hang out with a couple of his friends, and we'll go down and watch the game. I'm not a real sports crazy person, and I'm from New York, so West Virginia has never really been my team, and they're like a lot of other teams. They kind of, it's the whole state loves West Virginia basketball, football, they love it. So I went. It's always a nice experience to some degree, but I'm a man of God sitting always uncomfortable because I'm looking at signs, I'm looking at people, I'm looking at the way they all respond, I'm looking at cheerleaders and all the different things that we do in order to make this thing a great time. And, you know, I was watching at one time the big Jumbotron screen telling everybody to clap or telling everybody to make noise or telling everybody to do something. And I thought, you know, the majority of people in here are going to follow those rules because the Jumbotron is telling them clap. And there's something in me that just didn't want to do it. I'm sorry. I sat there, and my buddy a couple times, you know, looked at me and says, "Hey, you okay?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." I go to a game, and I'm not like a normal guy. I'm not screaming and hollering and yelling. I observe, and I observe the game. I observe players. I look for tendencies because I used to be a basketball player. You know, I look and see how they're playing the game and what strategies they're using. And I love watching basketball sometimes, but I also watch the band. And I'm a percussionist, so I was watching the drummer, and you know, they switched out the drummers at halftime, and I was watching the different styles and watching the band. And you know, I probably should have been a band nerd because I love music, and I spent a lot of time watching the band. But I looked at a lot of other stuff going on, and in my spirit I was troubled. You know, I was troubled at how, as a society, it's so easy for us to follow the majority. None of us fight the right things. None of us fight the fleshly things. We'll go with the fleshly things. We'll do the things that everybody else is doing because it's, you know what? If everybody's doing it, it's got to be right. But I was out of place. Not because I don't like basketball, not because I don't like WU. I just was out of place because I'm a man of God looking at all this, and I couldn't get myself into the mode of praying like I normally do because there was so much going on. And I want to exhort some of you. You know, you're having trouble pressing into God. You're having trouble figuring out what to do. Well, maybe psychologically or physiologically, I don't know how to say it. It's probably psychologically, but I can't say the word, man. It's morning time. My tongue isn't working yet. Haven't had any tea, any water, nothing. But there's something humanly working in us that is instinctive that we've got to fight and we've got to reteach. It says not to be conformed. In Romans 12, it says not to be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. I'm not saying don't go to a football game or a basketball game or anything that entertains you, but what I'm saying is when you go, you still have to be in a mode to be able to pray. And if things are coming against you where you can't, it's probably not the right place to be. And I've gone to a couple games and I enjoy it, but the thing is I'm a man that needs to be praying. I need to be in a position and in a place where I can pray freely. And for some reason, I can think back on last night now, and I don't think I ever prayed in the Spirit while I was there. I was so bombarded by sensations and stimuli and noise and sensations and things that were going on. Maybe a lot of you are being bombarded from things in your family life. You know, maybe you're in a marriage that isn't that great, or in a relationship with somebody that you know you shouldn't be there. You know, so instinctively you're trying to figure out whether to fight it or to flight. I would suggest to you, why don't you try praying first? Maybe some of you are in a job and you just don't know anymore. It's like you go and you're just miserable all the time, and you want to fight the management. You want to run away sometimes. Sometimes you don't just want to get in your car and not drive to work, but drive in an opposite direction. Why don't you try praying? Maybe you're just seeking out life as a young person and you're trying to figure out, should I go to college? Should I pursue this passion that I have? Should I go into missions or what? You know what? Instead of running away from it or trying to fight it, why don't you try praying first? Because we have an instinct to fight or to flight. To fight it or to run away. Maybe, just maybe, this is God speaking to you about whatever situation it is. And he's saying, don't fight and don't flight. Try praying. Try seeking his face. Try asking the God of the universe, what would he have you do? Maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to tie the tie correctly and walk out into life and do it correctly. There's a chance, I've got children that are all in different phases of their lives, and I'm watching them mature and learn. And you know what? I learned so much from my children. One of the things I'm learning is that, as a man of God, 62 years old, but still young in the Lord as far as my walk with God. I've been walking out this thing for 40 years. And if you look through the Bible, Moses didn't start his ministry till after 40 years of being out in the desert. I know God's unfolding something for me. And I know that as I look at myself, I'm just a little child trying to figure out where he wants me to go. But I'm not going to run away from it, and I'm not going to fight him. I'm seeking his face, because he says to seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and everything I need will be added to me. And as we continue to do these videos, as we continue to meet this way, you're going to find out that God is taking me somewhere that hopefully I'm taking you to. I pray you have a great day today. If you get a chance, go to church, okay? You can come to Connecting Point if you live in Clarksburg. We got a special speaker today, and she's going to be wonderful, okay? Peace. Shalom.